In this episode, Ryan talks about Grant Cardone going bankrupt, a brand new ebook that Ryan's releasing for landlords, and what he's learning from Anik Singhal about email marketing that's generating $30 million a year for Anik, and how Ryan is using his tactics to build his new list to give away Ryan's best content for free. Make sure you leave a review and let Ryan know your thoughts on this episode.
The big question, my friends, is this. How did I buy over 200 high cash flowing properties since the millennium, using the best no money down strategies from planning gains, refurbs, off plan, guaranteed rent, lease options, student lets, service accommodation, HMOs, negative equity, and dozens more to build a multi-million-pound property portfolio and then lose everything, including my wife, my children, all of my money and my liberty, when I was sent to prison for a crime committed by a lifelong friend, and then start over in £175,000 of debt, and now in 2020 have to restructure my entire companies and fast, using the most up-to-date high cash flowing strategies to pull my company, my partners, and my listeners through this economic crash. I'm Ryan Otto, and this top-rated business podcast will give you all the answers. So welcome to this episode of a Diary of a CEO. And I'm just going to be sharing what I've been doing literally today. This is today. I mean, where are we now? Let me look at my calendar. I have no idea where we are, what date we're on because of this madness, the lockdown. Everybody locked down. When is it going to finish? Who really knows? But I think it's going to be in about May, thinking about it. It needs to be in about May. But anyway, it's got everybody on tilt. It's got me on tilt. I don't even know what day we are in right now. Okay, Friday. It's now Friday the 17th of April. And today, I just want to share with you guys what I've been doing today. Got some really exciting things that I've been working on in my company. Now we have more time on our hands. And obviously we put, most of the fires out with all of the tenants that can't pay the rent or won't pay the rent, or some are taking the piss to leverage the fact that they don't think they have to pay the rent. And then we got all of the service apartment portfolio that was all empty at the same time. So I had a nice cigar the other day to celebrate dealing with all of those problems, putting all of those fires out. So now that's behind me until we get to next month, rent due dates again, all of those shenanigans. But now that's behind me. I've had some time where I've cleared my calendar. I've cleared my diary. I've turned all of my phones off. I've locked myself in my home office that my beautiful partner actually put together for me, because I don't like working from home. I'm normally just on the edge of Belgravia, where I'm working from, Westminster. And I need that inspiration. I like going out, jumping on the train, jumping on the tube, and being in central London or Westminster, West London, where it's hustling, bustling, busy, corporate. That inspiration, that's what I love, and that's what I need, and that's what it just keeps me going and keeps me moving forward. But anyways, with everything that's happened, now working from home. So my beautiful partner, she put together the office. She dressed it. She styled it. She bought clocks. She bought shelves. She bought me 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4 whiteboards right now. Big ones, I'm talking 1200 by 900. Some are 1400 by 900. Massive. I love whiteboards. I've nearly got all of the walls covered in whiteboards. I got my chair on my desk. I'm standing up delivering this episode to you guys right now because I prefer to be standing up while I'm delivering the episode. It gives me more energy and everything else, so I can hopefully deliver more value to you guys, okay? Instead of that crap monotone Ken Barlow from Coronation Street just talking very monotone and boring on a podcast, and probably will send most of you to sleep. Anyway, forget that. We're not doing any of that. So I'm standing up, delivering this to you guys right now. So really excited about a few things I've been working on. Like I said, now I've cleared my diary and I've had the space mentally, physically, emotionally to just lock myself away and be creative, where I'm at my best. Being creative, that's the type of person I am, the visionary, the big picture, not interested really too much in those little details that get in the way all of those things that hold you back. Because for me, it's just procrastination. When that comes along, I just procrastinate. I don't know what it is deep down. Maybe I don't like it. Actually, I know I don't like it. I normally outsource those things to somebody else. Home workers, assistants, PAs, executive assistants, anybody else who loves doing the organization. That's where I fall down. That's one of my flaws. But anyway, outsource what you don't want to do and do what you do want to do is my motto, my philosophy. It took a long time. A long time I've been buying, selling, investing, leasing, developing, everything you think of to do with property for, 20 years. The Millennium was the first property I bought on the south coast in a little place called Bexhill. Still got a property there now, as it happens. Turned it into a 5-bedroom HMO. Anyway, that's another story. So yeah, procrastination. It's been with me for a long time, and I can easily find myself like yesterday was a terrible day. Yesterday, I was all fired up, all excited, wanted to come into the office. I had videos to record, I had scripts to put together, opt-in pages and free things to give away and finish off the ebook and, tie all of these things together to build these lists and link it to Aweber and everything else, and then testing and linking and ClickFunnels and everything else. And I peaked for about an hour, and then I probably wasted 3 hours yesterday. So I probably had about 9 different things going on yesterday, all at the same time, which was just too much, and I never finished anything. So at the end of the day, it's just like zero satisfaction. I was more frustrated because I didn't do the things I wanted to do, and I'm very hard on myself that way in that sense. It's a good thing, keeps me motivated, keeps me going, but yeah, I am hard on myself in that sense, and but who doesn't like to make progress? Who doesn't like to make progress? I like to make progress and measure the progress and see the progress every single day, or it's as if I've just wasted that day. I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. Anyways, today was a fantastic day. I'm looking around right now and I've got my whiteboards everywhere. I've literally been creating everything you can think of, a massive web for online marketing. A massive web. I mean, everything that I've put together is free. There's nothing for sale here, so I don't think it's one of these funnels where, I don't know, there's something that you give away, a shiny thing, and someone, pops into the list, and then you, boom, upsell them with lots of stuff they don't really need. I'm not really into that. Maybe I would get into something delivering more value, a better version of that in the future, but right now, I'm just giving away as much content as I can, which is completely free. I have other businesses that do other things which generate the money. And if somebody comes into the funnel, get some good information, get some content, get some value, which they are, it's normally like, oh, you buy property as well. Oh, and you sell property. Oh, I've got someone who needs to sell a property fast. Oh, you buy property in cash. Oh, you do this. Oh, you do that. Oh, you rent property as well. Oh, actually, as it happens, I've got somebody who's got a property to rent, or I have one. Oh, you lease them and turn them into service accommodation. Wow, I never knew that about you. Oh, right. And you do joint ventures. Right. Okay. Well, I got this other deal and I don't know where the money is, or didn't know what to do with it, or I needed some finance, or this is how it normally works. This is how I like to operate. So now we've put that straight. I've literally got, it's a massive web. I'm looking now, it's a massive web. Let me just give you an idea of what we're doing. So I have all of the social media posts that go out. So every single day we got something going out on, say, Instagram, on TikTok, there's lots of videos, and Facebook posts, then YouTube, they're all going out every single day. Now I've been driving them to my podcast, to this podcast, where they can get to know me more, they can find more value. It's branding at the same time. It's giving as much value as possible, and there's training in there every single week, and it's 100% free. I mean, if I had this 20 years ago when I first started, all I really had was Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki was the guy that brought me into property, inspired me about property, taught me about leverage. OPM, other people's money, OPT, other people's time, and I built my business and everything that I've ever learned on the back of what I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. Now, that's all I had back then. There was no podcast. There was no people giving away free training like this, but real stuff that they're actually doing themselves in the trenches, running a business, coming across problems, challenges, documenting that and sharing it with their community, which is exactly what I do on this podcast. And it would have enabled me to go faster, go quicker, and obviously, avoid lots of the problems, avoid lots of mistakes. So here we are now anyway, 20 years later. And this is for the new generation, the younger investors, the entrepreneurs, the hungry youth today. And obviously anybody who's looking to, replace their salary, build a company, feed their family maybe with everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm just happy to give as much away as I can on this podcast so you guys get as much value as possible. So just to give you an idea of what I've been working on, so I'm getting all of the posts that we send out, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything else, it takes people back to my podcast, which gives them value in my podcast. And now what I've done is I've literally, from the podcast, I've put segments in there. I've put snippets in there. Again, there's nothing for sale. It's just, it's moving people from just listening on the podcast and taking them to different areas, different pages, different parts of my company, to different information where they can find out more, they can get more, they can learn more, they can go deeper. So what I've done is I've created an ebook. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, not create some crappy book that, is just so you can have it on Amazon, just so you can manipulate Amazon, and send an email to your list and get everybody on the same day within 24 hours, more or less, to get something for free if they go and buy the book on Amazon that day, and you either give them the money back or you give them something for free worth more than the cost of the book. Everybody knows what that does. It just triggers for them to be, number one bestseller on that day, and it's just a little bit unethical, but that's what everybody's doing. So it devalues what it means by being an Amazon number one bestseller. Anyway, that's a little rant there, another tangent. I'll save that for another episode. But no, I like to do it organically, naturally. So I've wanted to create a book for a long time. I've been thinking about writing it, and I wrote something a while ago, which was about 55,000 words. Then I turned that into a training program. Listen to this, it'll make you laugh. I turned it into a training program, but then I decided I didn't want to sell the training program. So I built everything. It probably took the best part of about a year to write the book, to build the platform, to build the training, to record everything. It was 15 hours, all the documents, all the scripts, everything that I use in my business right now still and back then, to give to somebody else for them to do exactly the same as what I'm doing. Multiple deals using this particular strategy. It got to the point of pulling the trigger and I just completely changed my mind. So it's not for sale. It won't be for sale, but what I did do with it is I gave it away to business partners. I gave it away as a training program, step by step, to the people that I mentor. I don't charge them anything. They're partners of mine. So they're working with me. So I gave them this program, let them test drive it, let them go through it. And now they've got 5, 6, 7, 8 properties themselves just by going through the training program. So yes, it was a success. Will I sell it in the future? I don't think so. But yeah, that's how I started out on my journey to write a book. Anyway, digressed a bit there. So I created another book, which I was inspired by Gary Vee. So this is more of like a content deck stroke ebook. But what I've done is I've packaged it up in a good way. It's 64 pages. It's my rent arbitrage machine, which it shows people, how I take an ordinary property from the local market rent, let's say £1,000 a month, and I turn that into £3,000. That's right, every single month. And I've been doing that consistently on 1-bed flats, 2-bed flats, 2-bed houses, 3-bed duplexes, 4-bed houses, and so on and so on. Not just in one city, in 5 different cities in the UK. I've actually got it in my hand right now. Oh, dropped my phone. I've actually got it in my hand right now. So it's tangible, it's here, it's the Ryan Otto Rent Arbitrage Machine. So I'm really pleased about that. It's live, well, it's live now. It'll be live from, well, when you hear this, on Sunday, it will be live. Just coming back from the proofreader, so it'll be all over the internet, everywhere I want it to be. So that's free. So that's at the front end, so that's completely free, so people can find that online, and just put their name in, their email in, they get instant access to that, they can go through that, it's going to help them. I'm really excited, especially now in the current climate where most of the service accommodation providers have left the marketplace because the wheels have fallen off as a short-term measure, of course. It creates massive opportunity for us that are still here. This is the core business for one of my companies, so we won't be going anywhere. We've actually acquired more deals right now. We're looking at other deals, and I just took on another deal in a hotel the other day during this pandemic. So it will filter out all of those beginners, all the novices that have been on some £99 discovery day, and now they're, offering service accommodation. Then the second the going gets tough, they're just giving the properties back or getting rent reductions, which I'm not happy about. And I'm going to do another episode on that where you'll hear me go deep into that, why that's so wrong. Anyway, I've digressed again. So I'm really excited about that. So I've got people joining the list from Monday, and I've put, there's lots of things out there for landlords to opt in, giving them value. We've got things for service accommodation landlords, giving them value. We've got entrepreneurs and business people and investors that just want to get in to make some money from this strategy, giving them some value as well. And then that links across to a Facebook community where they can ask questions and everything else. And then that takes them back to the podcast where they can post the live questions on the podcast for the next episode. It's so exciting. And then they can have their questions answered live. We've got a facility which we're working on where they're going to be able to put their phone number in. They get a call live because we're going live next week multiple times, probably 3 times a week on different platforms. I've bought another bit of software to broadcast. I'm just so excited. It's been one of those internet marketing weeks. This is what I used to love, internet marketing combined with property investment. And I was all in around 15 years ago. Doing webinars every day, it was, in the early days, I remember doing webinars every day, every night, jumping into the office, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I remember, and the kids were running around in the office, and we used to do a little dance when the money used to come in. I used to sell a couple of different products back then, and for investors, landlords, service accommodation landlords. Back then, I'm talking 2006, 7, 8, around that period, all the way up until about 2010. And we used to do a dance with the children called the deal dance. The PayPal would go ka-ching, and then like £300, 297, 497, 797, 997 would come in, and it would just be automated, just without doing anything. It's set up once, and it was all automated like this, and there was funnels, and there was pages, and it takes them here, takes them there, gives them value, then gives them something else, and then boom, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. The PayPal used to be going off a lot. Hey podcasters, I really appreciate every single one of you for listening to my show. So I want to give you all something back of value for you or your business, because I know that we can all do with a little shout out for our business or brand on the next episode. Now, my team is going to pick out the best reviews, the best ratings each week, and shout that person out on the next show. If you want to be that person, you know what you need to do. Head over to iTunes, leave a 5-star review and rating, and we'll shout out the best person. Pretty cool, hey? The deal dance. Just thinking about now, giving me goosebumps now. But anyway, that's evolved. We've moved on from there. Haven't really sold any products or anything since then, because that market is a bit cheesy, a bit saturated, a bit... they might do one deal and they sell 500 courses on how to do deals. You'd think they've done 1,000 deals and they've done one deal if they're lucky. So not really happy about that for those guys. So yeah, doing things differently. But yeah, it takes them across to a Facebook community. Then it takes them across to get like free information, free reports. And then they're now in the funnel. And this is all free, guys. And then it takes them across to a webinar they can join where they can go deeper. And then it takes them across to something else. And it's branding. And then I've got 4 YouTube ads going live next week. Wow. I'm just so excited. Everywhere I look around in my office, I've got whiteboards with all the plans on, all the strategies on, like the web of the funnels and the this, and the Instagram takes them here, and the podcast takes them there. Then the opt-in page takes them here, and then they join the list. Then they get the free book. And then they come across to get this, which is for free. Then they're across here, and it's branding. It's all automated, and it's set and forget with a little bit of tweaking, of course. And it pushes them to phone me, or phone my company, phone my team, book a call, book a valuation, sell a property. Oh, I'm just so excited. I'm looking around. And the good thing is about it, it's once it's set up, which has been more or less all of this week, it's fantastic. We can keep building on it, keep going deeper. And there's nothing for sale in there at all. This is the thing. I looked at it before and I had it as my £1 million funnel. When I looked at it about probably about 2 years ago, and I called it my £1 million funnel. I remember sitting with my son saying, this is the £1 million funnel. This is it. I have that at the top, and it takes them to there, and then they buy this, and then I give them that away for free, and then we go across here, and then they buy this one, then they come across in the value ladder, then they go up, and then they buy this. That was me thinking with the old mentality, the old model, which was, back in 2010. I had such a long time away from it because I didn't really agree with it or didn't want to do it. Came back, made some mistakes thinking I wanted to do it, spent a year putting these things together. I just didn't feel comfortable in myself with joining that space, jumping into that space, selling these things, which a lot of them are the dream thing or the get rich quick thing. And I just, it just didn't sit right with me. So had a long break away from that, a long time away from that, come back with a much better model. So everything I'm so excited about this week is to give everything away for free. I'm giving my best information away for free. I'm giving my best content that took me a month before to put together. I spent a year before putting this book together, 55,000 words, then turned into a training program, then didn't sell it. I didn't want to sell it, and giving it away back then. So all of these things I'm just so excited about. Brings me a lot of joy just to have all of this on the board, where we got a crash course which we're giving away. We've got perfect property deal training that we're giving away. We've got a rent arbitrage model, how to take any property from 1,000 to 3,000. That's a 199% increase. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've done it. I've got all the stats. I've tracked all the stats over the last 3 years. We're doing 199% rent increase on average, not on one property, on multiple properties, and not even in one city, in 5 different cities. So we've got all of the track record there. We've got all of the work there. We've got all of the stats there. We've got all of the evidence, the knowledge, the problems, the challenges, the heartache, the wins, the losses, and everything else in between from actually doing these deals, actually running a company, actually building a company. So I'm so excited that I've documented all of that, and slowly I'm putting it together in different packages to give away to you guys for free. So this is just me having like a moment on this webinar where it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it, and I think I've found where I want to be, which is giving this information away for free to you guys, impacting more people, helping more people, especially now during the heart of the coronavirus, because it just feels like a good thing to do. I'm earning my money other areas, other ways, different things. Not saying I won't sell anything ever, but it will have to be right and have to sit right with me. And further down the line, that could be an option. But right now, this just feels right, giving as much away as possible for free. And at the same time, it's massive for building a brand for me right now. It's also massive for building a list for me at the same time, which I can work with and do better things, or build something else on the back of that. So I understand the value in having a list, which is why I'm doing all of this as well, to help people and to get my own list, which used to be huge before, but I haven't done anything with it at all since 2010. So it's non-existent now, you could say. It's more or less non-existent, or what I've got now is non-existent compared to what I had back then. Anyway, Anik Singhal. I've been learning some things from him about email marketing, going back to the core. He's one of the best guys out there doing it right now that I've seen. Been following his stuff for a long time. He's working closely with Robert Kiyosaki as well, which I respect from many years ago. The year 2000 got me into the game. I learned a lot from him. And he's doing $30 million a year, dollars that is, on email marketing alone. So I've got lots of skills from him. I've learned lots from him. I've built that into my email list and the funnel and everything so I can build my list as quick as possible. Helping you guys as much as possible at the same time. So I'm excited about that. Whew. Now, I'm excited about going live next week as well. But yeah, the thing about Grant Cardone, which I said at the start, I saw the things on the internet. I don't normally go on the internet that much, to be honest, and follow things on social media, but something popped up and I just thought I'd click something and read something and heard that he's gone bankrupt. But then I thought that can't be right. Knowing the type of guy that he is and the things that he does behind the scenes, I think maybe, he hasn't. The fact is he hasn't. But maybe this was a little step too far. I mean, all of the investors that he's got, which have invested a lot of money with him, unless he told them the story before he went down that route of trying to make out he went bankrupt, I'm not really sure. But they could have felt a little bit uneasy, a little bit nervous, a little bit let down that obviously, the panic and the worry. They may have made decisions based on if they've invested 10,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million with him. They could have made decisions just by seeing those emails and thinking, fuck, that's it. My savings are gone. So yeah, I think maybe he went a little bit too far this time. Only time will tell. Or we'll see. Only time will tell, but I haven't got anything bad to say about the guy. I had a challenging experience with him a while ago, but that's just to talk face to face, man to man, company to company, not on a podcast or something like this in the public domain. That's not my style. But anyway, yeah, a lot of respect for the guy, what he's doing, and maybe he went a little bit far this time. Anyways, I've had so many problems and challenges this week. Back in the office, on Aweber, linking Aweber, the email platform, which is running all the automation to ClickFunnels. I've got a ClickFunnels account, which is all of the landing pages and everything else and all the sexy stuff behind the scenes, and linking that to Aweber is time consuming and you really need to be a whiz. It's supposed to be easy, but I've been doing this for years, but I haven't done it on this platform for a long time. I've had the account for about 3 years and then linking it all together and the pages, and it's been a headache. Definitely worth it. So what are you guys actually doing with your time right now? What are you guys actually doing to build your business right now or build your brand right now? Because I've spent a long time, at least a whole week and a lot more, that's just this week, putting together all of this automation, all of these strategies, all this digital stuff, all of this to build a list, to build a brand, to reach more people, to impact more people, and using all the skills that I know that I've built up over the last 20 years from running, massive webinars with hundreds of people on. And it's exciting and it's challenging. It's massively rewarding at the same time when you've completed a funnel. And now it's just like while you're in bed, you might say something, you might post something. Sorry, not while you're in bed, I mean. It comes in while you're in bed, but you might post something, you might say something, you might talk somewhere, you might release a video somewhere, and it all pushes them all back to this list, one of these multiple lists, into the web, into the funnel. It's a massive net, and then they just come in, then they trickle down, then they get something for free, then they go across to something else, then they consume something else, then they listen to the podcast, then they join this, then they join the Facebook community, then they ask questions. The questions come back and fuels the podcast. There's more questions to answer on the podcast, which is another thing going live next week, which is another community thing. It's just so excited. Anyway, I can't wait for you guys to get into, some of the areas of these funnels that we've created, just to get more value for yourselves. We can impact more people, help more people, and, share what I'm doing in my company and companies to help you guys at the same time. I hope you got some value from this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts. In these uncertain and difficult times, having the right tactics and strategies at the right time is how anybody gets to secure their financial future. The largest transfer of wealth is happening right now. I want to give you all the resources and the reassurance at no cost that guarantees you will win and profit from the property and economic crash today. Imagine what your business and your life will look like when you use the right tactics and strategies to pull you and your family through these difficult times, which is exactly what these tactics did for me and my clients and my loved ones after the 2008 crash. Now, I completely understand that money will be harder to find, which is why these strategies I'm giving you are no money down or very little money down, so minimal risk. And you don't even need to buy a single property to earn an additional £1,000 plus per calendar month and a 5 or even a 6-figure lump sum when the economy bounces back. Today you can get this training and the advantage for free that the so-called gurus would charge you thousands of pounds for. Just visit www.propertycrashcourse.com so you have all the tools, the tactics, the resources, and the reassurance to keep the cash flowing into your family and your business when you understand exactly how to profit in a property and economic crash. My friends, don't lose your advantage by doing nothing after listening to this talk.